to say something I think a lot of people feel but won't admit. I don't want a job. I don't want to work. And I know I need money. I'm not delusional. But I genuinely refuse to pretend that the job itself matters. Because unless you're in healthcare, or you're a teacher, or you're a farmer, or a bin collector, unless you're helping keep society running, your job is probably just performative bullshit.
You know, the clips that we're going to be reacting to today, I resonate with very much because I myself also do not want a job. I do not want a job. In fact, I work for myself because I came to this realization earlier, a few years ago, when I got laid off at a company that I was working at for 8 years. And it was a very, it was funny. At the time, I didn't react to it that much, but when I think about it in hindsight, I do think it caused some anxiety that kind of lingered on for the next few years. Because think about it like this. We just bought a townhome, a small townhome in Calgary, and we're living in Toronto at the time. So we actually, bought it as investors, and we did pay a higher interest rate for it, but we also had plans to move to Calgary, right? That's why we bought it, but because we couldn't buy it on a regular basis with a regular kind of mortgage and interest rate, because we didn't live physically in Calgary, but we were planning on moving. So once we actually did move, we were both working, remote from our jobs in Toronto, and I ended up getting laid off about 4 months after we moved. And it was pretty traumatic because that was my main source of income, right? And when you lose that, it kind of sends you into a desperation mode. But luckily, I had some YouTube channels on the side that I was working on that I was getting some income from, but not enough to support my entire lifestyle at all. And thankfully, some of the channels have grown since then, and I've made more channels, so I've been able to be self-sustaining to this extent to a certain degree. But now I'm definitely thankful I chose this path, because now I'm starting to realize that I just don't want to work. Because just look at how they just dump you in a situation where you're very vulnerable, and they didn't seem to care at all. And I don't want to go back to a soulless corporation if they don't have my best interests at heart. Honestly, I don't want to dedicate 8 to 9 hours a day at a company that just doesn't care, right? And that's what the realization that a lot of people are having in this clip is all about as well. So with that being said, let's dive into it.
Been in this mood where I just don't want to work. I've called off at least twice this week, and I know I can't call off anymore or I will probably lose my job. But I don't want to work. I don't want to have a job. I don't know if it's summer coming up, something in the air, but it makes me so sad at the fact that I have a job. I'm just so depressed that I have to go into work and just work.
I mean, especially during the summertime, to be honest, and she might be in a situation where she doesn't really need to work, but she's just doing it because she's getting the extra money. But when you have nice weather and stuff and you want to go spend time with your friends, it makes it even more challenging, obviously.
I want a job. I don't want to work. A lot of people act like that's such a crazy thing to say. I didn't ask to be born into a capitalist system where the only choice is get a job or be homeless, or resort to criminal activities which will just get you arrested and sent to jail. So you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. Then we go on these job interviews and we pretend. We pretend and we fake because you have to fake and pretend to get a job. You know that you have to kiss their ass right in the crack to get a job. They ask you about your passions. My passion is not being homeless. My passion is being able to afford my rent, but you can't tell them that because then you won't get the job. We're utterly trapped in a system where the only choice is get a job, work for 40 years, then retire with one foot in the grave, or be homeless. And that's not a choice at all, is it? I want a life of true wealth, abundance, a life of financial freedom, not an unfulfilled life like this. Not a life where I have to work all these years with so little to show for it. Keeping my head just above water, a life of survival, instead of a life of abundance, instead of thriving.
Well, I don't disagree with anything he said right there. That ultimately, I feel is what a lot of people want, and you definitely can't say that during a job interview. I dare someone to say that during a job interview. What motivates you? Well, the fact that I don't want to be homeless. And that's ultimately true.
Talk about how I don't want to work no more. Currently, I work at a furniture store and I get paid $16 an hour and we get paid bi-weekly. 2 weeks ago, I got sick and I wasn't able to go to work. My boss sends me a picture of the new schedule for the upcoming week And I went from working 4 days a week to now I'm only on the schedule for 2 days. I send him a text back like, bro, like, why am I only working 2 days? He replies back, bro, you called out. I say, bro, I was sick. He then says, yo, I come to work sick all the time. What's your excuse? At this point, I'm frustrated and I'm already looking at other jobs. But then like, bro, like I start to think, I'm like, bro, if I get another job, I'm likely gonna deal with the same BS, the same stuff. And then you start thinking like, bro, like if I'm gonna go through the same thing at another job, why do I wanna keep working? Now look, today I was supposed to come to work at 10 o'clock and leave at 3. Bruh, 10 o'clock came, I was in there chilling, editing videos, doing what I had to do. When I see what time it is, it's like 1 o'clock. And like, I'm literally just thinking, I'm like, bro, like I gotta get me another job. Like, it's not gonna last here, bro. But then again, I'm like, I don't wanna work no more, yo. I don't wanna work no more. So bro, you know what I did? I clocked out and left. I be seeing these people on TikTok, they making money off the TikTok shop. They making money off the long form content of doing like 1 minute long videos and everything like that. And I see it. And you know, me, the type person I am, it's not always about the money. It's not always about the money. It's about moving freely and doing exactly what I want when I want. I just want to be free. I just want to wake up every morning and be like, bro, what am I going to do today? Oh, I can do this. I can do that.
I still can't believe that his manager told him that they come to work sick all the time. Now, if you work in customer service, that is a horrible practice to kind of lay out to your employees, because essentially you're telling them that it's okay to get other people sick as long as you come into work. That is ridiculous thinking.
I'm gonna say something I think a lot of people feel but won't admit. I don't want a job. I don't want to work. And I know I need money. I'm not delusional. But I genuinely refuse to pretend that the job itself matters. Because unless you're in healthcare, or you're a teacher, or you're a farmer, or a bin collector, unless you're helping keep society running, your job is probably just performative bullshit. The meetings about meetings, the emails about emails, just circling back. Like, what? Circling back about what? Nothing important. Like, what are we actually doing? Why are we doing this? What in the capitalism? And the thing that gets to me the most isn't even the work. It's that we're supposed to care about our jobs. We're supposed to be passionate, give it our all, make it like our whole personality. Like literally, usually when we meet someone new, the first thing we ask is, so what do you do? Like that's the most important thing about them. I don't care how someone else makes money. I care about their hopes and their dreams and what they love to do and their hobbies, but I don't give a flying about how they make money. I work for money and that is it. And I really think if more people admitted that, we'd all feel a lot better.
And I think ultimately that's one of the main reasons why people don't want to work, is because a lot of the jobs out there, they're not fulfilling. You don't really feel like you're making a difference in the world. A lot of them are just meaningless jobs that if they were in the pandemic, they would be considered non-essential, right? And a lot of office jobs are like that, and AI is eating up a lot of these jobs as we speak. So there's even that in the immediate future that a lot of these people are going to deal with as well. So leave your thoughts about this video down below in the comment section, guys. Do you also not want to work? Let me know down below in the comment section. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.